And action.
Alright, so today I'm going to teach you or show you a quick trick. It's a 2015 Nissan Rogue. My wife said that it takes a while to start. Like it just cranks, and then it finally starts. It's been really cold, so it's most likely an old battery that just the cold cranking amps aren't up to par. So we probably just need to replace the battery. But I'm going to go through a couple quick tricks on how you could test it pretty easily at home. If you got a multimeter here, these are pretty cool. Your neighbor probably has one if you don't. This is the best way to test it. We're going to go to volts DC. So you see DC volts. Cars use DC voltage. And basically we'll just set it here. Bring it so they can see. And then we're going to test it. Black to black, red to red. It doesn't matter too much. I don't believe on cars. So we're going to shoot it. Look at the voltage, 12.66, so that's good. These are 12-volt batteries, so they'll be around 12 volt. If it's 11.5, like 11.5 volts, your battery's most likely bad. It's not holding the charge, or your alternator's bad. So I'm going to show you a quick trick. We just tested our battery. Battery seems to be good just sitting there. I'm going to show you a quick trick on how to test your alternator. When your car's taking a while to start, most likely is three things: your battery, your alternator, here's your alternator here, and then your starter down there, starter motor. So the way to test it is we just tested our battery and it's most likely good. Now we're going to test the alternator. This is a pretty quick trick. I know what the problem most likely is, but I'll get to that in a second. Alright, so basically I loosened this terminal so I can easily take it off. I'm going to start the car and then I'm going to remove this terminal, and it basically takes the battery out of the equation and it'll run only off the alternator. If it turns off, that means your alternator is bad. So you start your car up, you get it running. Normally you want to do the positive terminal, but I'm going to do the negative because it's impossible to take the positive off. When I take it off, the car should stay running. You see that? With no battery. It's now running off the alternator, and it should stay running. If it stays running, your alternator's good. Her car's starting to die slowly, so she might have a weak alternator. Another way is we'll take our volts DC again. Alright, and I'm going to shoot this battery. Look at our voltage, 12.68. So it's still good on voltage. Now let me make sure this is not touching. Alright, so I'm going to do it. Oh, look at that, 12.6 volts, good enough. Now I'm going to attach it, put it back on. And it's got to be tight in order for it to have a real good connection. So we'll just tighten it down a little bit. Doesn't have to be crazy tight unless, you know, it's permanent. We're just testing. So now I'm going to test it again. 14.2 volts. So you can see the alternator is charging it up to 14 volts, which is good. You can look in your spec sheet and see how much it's supposed to charge it, but 14 is pretty average on most cars. So we know her battery's good and her starter's good. Now, the issue I know immediately when I opened her hood, look at these terminals. Look how bad they are. They're very corroded. So what we can do is, I'm going to use this electric cleaner. So I took the terminal off. This one I can't get off because of the way it's attached down there, and I'm not trying to do extra work because I'm lazy right now. But just clean it off. Clean it off real quick, whatever you can. And then I'm going to, if you have a couple of these brushes, this will work. Just spray it. Spray off what I can. It'll blast it. And then I'll take this and I can spray it a little good like that. Spray it in there and just kind of give it a little, like you're washing dishes. Nothing big. It'll break this off. This just happens over time because of the acidity in the battery. And if the terminals are loose, it'll actually, it'll do it more. You'll get more corrosion. But it's very simple to do. Scrub it a little. Spray it. You use the pressure basically to clean off whatever. And obviously it's still going to have discoloration, but as long as you get most of the crap off, it'll help it get a lot better connection, and you won't have issues. So her car has only been stuttering sometimes. So I'm pretty sure her issue was just these dirty terminals because it was only happening sometimes. And did you ever have a time where it didn't start?
Yeah, there's been a few times.
Where it didn't start at all?
Yeah, it would take a few times.
You would have to press the button a few times?
I'd have to like let go of the gas and do it again.
Okay. So it sounds like it could be just this, or she could have a starter on the way out. This is a 2015. It is currently 2022, and she's never replaced the battery, which I don't know the age on them. I think about 10 years or so, depending on the style battery. I know they have better ones that last 10 years and bad ones that last 5 or less. But just get in there, spray it up, and we're going to let it dry, and it'll be good. I think this one's good. So now you know how to troubleshoot a no start issue or where it's starting to get hard to start, like something is starting to go bad. It's very simple. Anyone could do it. Just need a multimeter, and then a tool to take the terminal off, which is usually a 12 millimeter or 10 millimeter. But yeah, pretty simple to do, easy to do. Better than taking your battery out and having AutoZone or something tested. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you around. I've been a bit to the